Hit it, baby. Welcome to the 505. I'm old and fat, but still alive. I voiced some games, I had some luck. But as a gamer, folks, I suck. That's why I'm inviting you to guide this aging boomer through. So bibbity-boo, and welcome to Uncle G's Tea House. It's a you and me house. Drinks are always free house. A to be or not to be house of someone in a tree house. A Captain Hook and Smee house. A Merry Melody house and episodes of Glee House. Who writes this shit? Uncle G's Tea House. Good evening, my nieces and my nephews. All right, first of all, this is very important. I have some very, very exciting news tonight. I just got off the phone with my agent, and I am beyond thrilled to report that Hate Night with Aku has been greenlit at Cartoon Network, and it goes into production next year. I will be reprising my role as the Shogun of Sorrow, with one small caveat. April Fools! Ha ha, gotcha. You know, destiny is a funny thing, and so is spring. It doesn't check your calendar, it just shows up. Now, I lived in Los Angeles for 30 years. I love LA. I love it. From the South Bay to the Valley. But let's be honest, there's no spring there. It's just pleasant, you know, January, pleasant, April, pleasant, December, Christmas, also pleasant. There's no dramatic arc, just, you know, vibes. Now, just about everywhere else, oh man, you have got to earn spring, baby. And then one day, out of nowhere, usually in March, a tiny green sprout pops up as if to say, I'm back. And at first, you know, you don't trust it. You're all, oh, sorry, bud, but I've been burned before. And just when you start to actually believe it, spring does legit arrives, along with the bunnies. Bunnies. Bunnies everywhere. So many bunnies. Why? Because nothing says the resurrection of Jesus Christ like a mutant rabbit running a lucrative side hustle. And then, just to keep things really weird, let's name the whole celebration after a pagan fertility goddess. We basically took one of the most profound spiritual stories ever told and said, what if we added chocolate eggs? And somehow it works. Because you see, underneath the candy, underneath the eggs, there is this simple idea. Life comes back. Now, if you're anything at all like me, you always carry just a little bit of winter around with you. Some mornings, man, the alarm goes off and I think, oh, fuck it, I cannot do this today. Now, spring, spring does not give a shit. Spring says, get your fat ass out of bed, Baldwin. We are doing this again. No vote, get up, go. So tonight, we are going to shake off winter, and we are going to embrace the miracle of bunnies, eggs, chocolate, pagan goddesses, matzah, Moses, and Jesus Christ, all sharing the same glorious weekend. Speaking of Moses, tonight is the first night of Passover, and to my Jewish nieces and nephews, Pasech Sameach. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. Anyway, later tonight, I am going to sing a song that is aggressively optimistic. A song that walks in and says, good news, we're all gonna be okay, which is, you know, pretty ballsy of me in light of 2026. But you know what? Tonight, I'm willing to believe it, at least for a couple of hours. So join me. You know, I thought it might be appropriate tonight to make a spring cocktail. You know, something light, something hopeful. So naturally, I am mixing up a corpse reviver. Because nothing says rebirth like a drink that assumes you didn't quite make it through, the first time. Traditionally, this is a morning after cocktail. You wake up, you don't feel entirely alive, and this will bring you back. Sort of like, spring itself. Not all at once, not dramatically, just enough to notice. So, Corpse Reviver, let's get to it, my friends. You're gonna need a cocktail shaker. We got that. We'll take a little ounce shaker. We'll begin with one. It's a pretty easy drink to make because it's equal portions of everything. We will begin with an ounce of gin. A little gin for there, and what the heck? Happy April Fool's Day. Ooh, I don't usually take gin straight. That's an interesting experience. Okay. We're also going to do an ounce of Lillet Blanc. Now, Lillet Blanc is a fortified French wine and aperitif. So we're going to do a whole jigger of that. Pour that into our Corpse Reviver like so. Boom. Neatness is always, neatness is very important when making drinks. Always, seriously, you can avert disaster. Always put the top back on. Now this, it calls for an orange liqueur. The guy at my liquor store told me that this was a blood orange aperitif. Said that it was lovely, really good. So that's what I'm using tonight. A blood orange. Oh, that's not good. There we go. I'm going to take another ounce of this. Full ounce, don't skimp. We'll throw that in there. Boom. And again, what did I say? Step back in there. Do not want a disaster. And last but not least, we're going to add a whole ounce. Obviously, fresh lemon juice is going to be better, but I don't have fresh lemon juice, so I'm going to, this will do just fine in a pinch. Again, I'm not a professional bartender. I'm not very fancy. I know what I like. And I made myself one of these the other night just to sort of see, and I got to tell you, it's a Corpse Reviver, it definitely, was way boozier than I expected it would be. Now, of course, what you're going to do with any cocktail shakers, you want to get a lot of ice in there, right? I think I'm actually getting better at this segment, huh? When I first started doing it, except for that, because I wasn't quite sure, I've never done a cooking show or a bartending show. I think I actually am reporting my wisdom. I'm sorry, guys, that the tea house was not open last night. I had the great honor of doing a voice acting workshop at the Albuquerque Little Theater last night, which was a lot of fun for me. Believe it or not, I've never directed in my life. I've never been a teacher. It was the first time I ever even tried it. The actors and actresses there were just lovely. I had a wonderful time. I definitely will go back and do it again. Anyway, you got all this good stuff in there. You want to get that a good shake. And I mean a good shake, baby. The longer, the better. I wish I was Tom Cruise and I could do that, that fancy shit. You might have noticed, though, I am not Tom Cruise. Although, oddly, I think he's not that much younger than me, which, again, this does not seem, fair, maybe. But, all right. I think that is sufficiently shaken. Now, we're going to pour this into a coupe glass, like so. Makes a lot of booze, too, because there's another 4 whole ounces in there, so this thing will last me. And then it says you can use either a bit of lemon peel or a Luxardo cherry. I am a Luxardo cherry aficionado. Anytime you can add, in fact, I'm going to add 2. Anytime you can add, what the hell, let's do 3. What the heck, there we go. Put that in there. All right, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Corpse Reviver. People have been trying to describe spring forever. Some very poetically, some honestly. Robin Williams once said, "Spring is nature's way of saying let's party," which does, feel about right until you remember that nature's idea of party also includes allergies and unpredictable winds. Ogden Nash, the poet, he once wrote that spring is sprung, the grass is riz, I wonder where the birdies is. Finally, a poet who sounds like he's had a couple of these Corpse Revivers. Musical theater, oh my great love, musical theater. It has some thoughts about all this too. Carousel sings about June busting out all over, because apparently spring comes quite late to coastal Maine. It is a lovely song, it's a beautiful song, but it is a problematic song if you are a well-endowed woman named June. A well-endowed woman named June. That's a creeper, folks. Think about it. Anyway, underneath all of that, the jokes, the songs, the poetry, there's this quiet idea that keeps showing up again and again. No matter how long winter seems to persist, things come back. Not all at once, enough. Just enough to make us feel something warm again. And maybe, just maybe, that's what spring is. Proof that whatever felt gone isn't. Even down in Rapture, my friends, spring finds a way. The water is getting warmer, the splicers are molting, and somewhere a little sister is picking at them like tulips. So, my nieces and nephews, let us raise a glass to new beginnings and to whatever crawls out of the deep tonight. Fair warning, I have a wrench, and I know how to use it. Cheers, my friends. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. Let's play a little Bioshock tonight. But first, hi, Crackle Moon. Hello to you, Crackle Moon, and cheers. I see Lauren and I see my friend Jake are already in here. And greeting, timeless conundrum, greetings to you. I am the Shogun of Sorrow. Hello to you, Amanda. It's very good to see you, or not see you. Oh, microphone.
Oh, yeah.
I understand now, Lauren. Lauren is like microphone. Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me now? Yeah. All right, we've got that. You know what? If that is our only technical glitch tonight, I will consider ourselves, doing very, very well tonight. So, I'm going to have another sip of this. And we'll chat a little bit tonight. We'll probably sing a song.
Don't forget to tell the Coen brothers.
Oh, that's right. Melissa told me this because, as you know, if you guys have watched this, the chat really, I'm very ADD, and I just I have a tangent. Someone had asked me about working on the Coen brothers movie on Hail Caesar last week, and I never responded because another, squirrel appeared, and suddenly I'm talking about the squirrel. So let me tell you about the Coen brothers movie. I have not done a whole lot of on-camera work. I am very pleased and honored that my major motion picture that I made was actually a Coen brothers movie. It's not the best Coen brothers movie, but it's not the worst Coen brothers movie either. I think it's pretty squarely there, right in the middle there. Anyway. It was a wonderful opportunity for me. I was very, very scared, and it was my second morning there. And one of the reasons I like voice acting is voice acting only takes up an hour and a half, and you get paid SAG scale no matter what. You can be on set for 15 hours or be in a booth for an hour and a half. I'm a lazy old bastard. You know which one I'm going to pick. So anyway, squirrel, see, there you go. Don't do that, Emerald Dragon. You know what I'm going to do? Squirrel. Now, what was I talking about? The Coen brothers. I'm not going to forget. Melissa made me promise I would finish the Coen brothers story. So anyway, it was our second morning there. And of course, it's the ungodly hour. I think it's probably 5 a.m., very early. And I'm on my way down into hair and makeup. And it's the second day of shooting. I'd met him the day before. And who should be going into the soundstage in his full costume but George Clooney? He's on his way in as I'm going to hair and makeup. And he sees me and he says, "Hey, I'll see you in there, Greg." And I was going, "Oh my God, George Clooney actually knows my name," which was, kind of a cool thing. George Clooney, an interesting fellow. This will blow your minds. George Clooney is my age. I think he might be just a little bit younger. So I'm just saying, that doesn't seem fair. I'm just saying it would be nice, but I'm not going to complain. Life is good. Yeah, the two A-listers that I have ever met have been very nice that I've worked with. One, of course, was George Clooney, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys this story too about the other A-lister. It was literally the last recording session for Avatar: The Last Airbender. And one of the nice things about Avatar is we generally all we recorded together as much as possible. And because this was the very, very last episode, everybody was there. And I'm sitting there in the green room. And again, I'm not that far out of business and legal affairs. I'm still very intimidated by all of these. You are correct, Skekson. You are absolutely correct. Mark Hamill comes in and sits next to me in the green room. And my inner monologue at this point, I went, oh my God, that's Mark. Oh my God, that's Mark Hamill. He's Luke Skywalker. I gotta be. You're a professional, Greg. You're a professional. You gotta be a professional. Okay, so don't say anything. Don't say anything at all. Just be quiet. Be cool. Be cool. To me after, and he says, Greg, that was really great work in there. I don't know if we met. I'm Mark Hamill. I play your brother. And I'm like, oh God, I know who you are, man. I know who you are. And what's cool is because it was the last episode, the last of the season of the show. The cool thing was I actually have had the privilege of having a glass of wine poured for me by Luke Skywalker himself. So those have been the two biggest stars that I've ever actually worked with were George Clooney and Mark Hamill, and they both were lovely people. Clooney, you would think that he would be in his trailer all day, and he just stayed on the set with all of us, during between takes. He would show us funny shit that he had found on his phone. I mean, he was literally just a guy, a regular guy, which I think the more that I've been around celebrities, I do realize that they're just people, who've been very lucky and have a really cool job. William Shatner once smiled at me. I have been smiled upon by the Shat himself. The Shat. I don't know if you'd like that. Can you turn them? What do we have going on here? A new sub. We have a new sub. I'm waiting to find out who. They're typing. Willie. Hello, Willie. Thank you for that sub very much, man. Which, of course, Willie makes me think of Willy Wonka. And here we go on a new tangent, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk. You know what? Because a lot of you guys are younger than me, this is for me, there is only, I like Timothy Chalamet. Wasn't bad. Obviously, Gene Wilder is the Willy Wonka, the once and future Willy Wonka, and this is where I might piss off some of you. Johnny Depp, what was that crazy shit? That movie, everyone's going to go crazy. That movie, because I know a lot of younger people like it because it's the one that you saw. But man, every time I watch that movie, it's just, it doesn't make me as mad as the M. Night Shyamalan movie that we don't talk about. But it's up there because it's just not Willy Wonka to me. It misses, for me, the most, oh my God, you met Julie Andrews once. Oh, Crackle Moon. Now that is something. That is something to see. And the new Avatar movie coming up. What are my thoughts? I think it's going to be wonderful. I can't wait to see new animated content. And I certainly noticed that the Netflix show, I think they even dropped a date for when it'll show on Netflix. It's very cool to see Toph. I've always said of Avatar: The Last Airbender, if I had no skin in the game and I was just watching the show and I didn't know anything about it, Iroh and Toph would be my absolute favorite characters, No question. I love Iroh, and it helps. Michaela is also, if you've been lucky enough to meet Michaela Murphy, what a lovely young lady she is. It's just been delightful. In the old days, right after COVID, a lot of the times, everything was just coming back. Michaela and I went out together most times, and we just had, we became very, very close indeed. And Michaela, if you're watching, we'd love to have you as a guest. I know that Dante is going to be here. We're going to be appearing at Animeverse Albuquerque here in July, and Dante will be here as well. So, Dante, I might have to twist your arm a little bit, maybe. Hey, I got cocktails. Come here, man. But all right, I could sit again. I'm an old man. Did I ever finish my Coen Brothers story?
You did.
I did finish the Coen Brothers story, but I'll tell you one more.
Did you finish the Mark Hamill story?
Yes, I did. I finished the Mark Hamill story. I finished that. I was sort of in the Willy Wonka story. I never really got through that other than just to say, I really hate Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka, which, and again, I'm not ragging. Johnny Depp is a great actor. I thought his Sweeney Todd was great. I actually thought Tim Burton's Sweeney Todd was about as good a production of that show as you could possibly see. And if, I don't know, if you guys know me, I love Stephen Sondheim. I had the great privilege of seeing the there was a revival of it back, I think it was last year, and it was Sutton Foster. Hello, miscalculation. It was Sutton Foster as Mrs. Lovett. And when we saw it, it was Aaron Tveit as Sweeney. I think it's Tveit. I think that's how you pronounce it. And also a wonderful Broadway actor. But the problem with him as Sweeney is, I'm sorry, dude, you're just too pretty. You know, you're just too pretty. I did not believe for a minute that this man had been doing hard labor in Australia. I mean, he could sing it. He sang beautifully, but Sweeney has to have this sense of world weariness and danger. Frankly, frankly, I was more afraid of Mrs. Lovett than I was as of Sweeney. But all right, I don't get it. Okay, well, I should probably play the game. We're already 10 minutes in, and I have not even picked up the joystick yet. So, shall we play a game, ladies and gentlemen? Here we go. I am resuming. All righty, I have my wrench, and I know how. Oh, well, you know, oh, that looks like something interesting. Working late, I'll pick that up. I'll take the diary, and I think I drank the Merlot. I'm not drinking any damn Merlot. What is that movie, Sideways? Well, oh, I'm gonna, come on, man. Oh, that's funny. All right, that is, oh, all right, I didn't know that. Hello, Link the Hero. Hello, how are you? I did not know that was gonna happen. How long am I gonna be drunk? Can I find something else to drink? What's over here, man? Okay. Oh, if only sobering up was that easy. I had to tell you, there was one show we did this year in Salt Lake City. And man, you know, okay. Forget about that. I think I maybe have some work to do. Something is oh, hello, first kill. Thank you. What do you think of that? I will take that, baby. Anyway, have I searched you? I think so. Now, probably, oh, have I searched you? I've searched you. I got all these guys. All right, I have no idea. Oh, pistol search. Got any pistol rounds? I can use those. I think I'm running very low ammunition. All right, let's go. What's here? Have I? Ryan Club, beer, and I don't think I've been here. I should probably use, you know. Oh, all right. Hey, where are you? Where you go? Who are you? Who? What is that? Okay, something floating. Trash can. I'll search it. Nope, nothing there, baby. Nothing there. Nothing I can. Oh, there we are. You, hey, buddy, how you like this, huh? You like that? You like that? You like that? How you like that, huh? Yeah, you like that, huh? I do love the wrench. Already searched. Sync up. Probably. Nah, I don't need to use it. Probably need to throw up after all that booze I just drank. Can I? Oh, I can use it. All right, guys. Last week, I'm sorry. Last week was the, here, better, because bad things can happen if I don't pause it. I just want to let you know, last week was the big colonoscopy show, and everything just fine. I have to go back in a year instead of 3 years because they didn't get the, I seriously, you know, I don't want to go into the details of it, but they didn't get exactly a clear read. They did take out 2 small polyps, nothing to worry about. Literally, when they really tell you that, oh, you do not have colon cancer, that more right after you wake up, that's always a very good sign. So I got through that. Then that is the good news. The bad news is I have to do it again in a year, and the good news is we get to do another colonoscopy show. And I got to tell you, if you have never, all right, man, this is real. If you have never done the twilight sleep or whatever that thing is, I mean, obviously it's a dangerous drug. I think it's what killed Michael Jackson. But man, that sleep drug,
you will come.
It's weird. If anyone that's ever been in surgery, it is such, yes, my butt is very happy. It's a weird thing to literally they're saying that the last thing I remember, and it's always this way, okay, you're going to feel something cold now, and then that's the last, and then all of a sudden they're Mr. Baldwin, Mr. Baldwin, welcome back. It's such a disconcerting feeling because it's like there's lost time, you know. But everything is good. I'm glad I'm glad I had it done. Didn't enjoy the night last week all that much, you know, waiting for it. I was up quite a lot of the evening, and I do have to tell you that once this, because I drank the drink, you know, live. By the time the show was over, Matt can attest to this. It was like, Get out of my way, guys. I got some business. I got to do this now. So propofol, that's it. Propofol, Lauren. Yeah, that is, you know, it is. There's nothing like it. And that's, I had major surgery once. I've got a rod and 3 screws in my left ankle. Tooth. Well, yeah, I am behind. Yes, my behind is healthy. Thank you for the sub, Tooth. And yes, you guys don't want to see my butt, but it's all good. I promise you. Yeah, exactly. You close your eyes and then all of a sudden you're awake. I wish I could sleep that well. And here, and I know you guys are a lot younger than me, and this is something I'm sorry I have to tell you guys is a very sad truth. The older you get, and finally you have enough time to sleep, you can't fucking sleep. It's insane. I wish I could sleep till noon again. You know, I'm still not one of those, you know, those geezers that gets up at 5 a.m. every morning. I generally wake up around 7 or 7:30, but I also sometimes frequently wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then there's, you know, it's a question of, okay, is my mind going to engage or not? Because if your mind starts to engage and you start to think about this show, or, you know, what fan conventions I'm going to do, or I have to do a workshop at the Albuquerque Little Theater, that's when you can't go to sleep. But everything is, anyway, I'm glad the colonoscopy is over. Hopefully no more medical issues. Melissa and I will have our physicals, I think, in June. We do them every year because it is, you know, it's good. Even youngsters, you should go in and have yourself looked at. I know that insurance is a lot of money, you know, and if you don't have insurance, it's even more money, which we could talk about that all night, but I'm not going to because it makes me angry. Oh no, you don't sleep because of pain, Crack. I'm sorry about that pain. Oh man, pain sucks. I guess. Uncle Iro doesn't need his pain sucks. You know, some silly things Uncle Iro said that were wise. They were wise. It won't cover a foot. What, you know? I don't want to talk about. And there's a reason I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk too much about insurance because then I'm veering very close to political topics. And if anyone follows me on the site formerly known as a Twitter, you know that I can be decidedly un-Iro-like sometimes in my convictions. So I'm not going to talk about insurance, except I'll tell you something else. I turned 65 last September. You know, they say Medicare is free. Medicare ain't free. It still costs money to have, you know, but we shouldn't have to have it at all. You know, screw it. I doubt very seriously if they had insurance in Rapture. I would think probably not. All right, but back to the game. And I'm better. I'm being better tonight about staying on topic, and I'm better about remembering. You guys don't see the setup here in the bar because it is literally a karaoke bar, and it's really very cool. The one of the bookcases behind me when I'm on the other side of the bar is actually a secret door. It goes into a storage closet behind it. And behind the stage where I sing, the karaoke stage, is actually, behind there is a Murphy bed. So this is not only a karaoke bar and now basically a sound studio, it also is literally a studio apartment. And talking about cranky, all right, this is going back to the Coens. This is why the Coens cast me, because they loved my resting grump face. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen, resting grump face. Thank you very much. Resting grump face. That is what got me in a Coen Brothers movie. All right, let's go here. We're gonna play a little more. I don't think there's going to be anything in this bathroom. And I think this bathroom is sort of what got me on the whole colonoscopy. But I am glad. You worry. Even though it's probably going to turn out all right, you never know. I mean, that's the way. Things have a way of just coming out of the blue. And this time, mercifully, it did not. Everything's well. Believe it or not, my blood pressure was, I think, 29/80 going into the procedure, which for a gentleman of my age and my dubious habits, I think is pretty good. All right, where am I going, Matt? What do you think? Where should I go?
You need to bring up the map.
The map is here? Nope, here.
I think it's the giant.
The giant button on this one?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, okay. I haven't really understood the map.
So what it wants you to do is photograph spider spots.
And
Remember last time you got a camera?
and I did get a camera, and I got a couple of them, right?
Yeah. So anytime you see a guy who has like hooks in his
It wants me to photograph. So where should I go?
wherever.
Wherever. All right, then, wherever. I'm going. I got the shotgun now. Do I have rounds? Yes, I do. Thank you. Thank you. Boom. That looks like it's glowing, but I guess it's nothing. Uh-oh. Oh, one shot, baby. You guys see that? One shot. Any plans to come back to Oklahoma? I was there at Anime 4, probably not this year because I was at Anime 405 in December. I'd love to see Zach again. I haven't seen him in a while. And I always love going to Oklahoma City specifically because my son Cooper attended OCU, Oklahoma City University. So, all right, the timeless conundrum just through the Samurai Jack running naked through the woods, zooming in on that one frame of his butt. All right, you got my attention. All right, I gotta play though. I gotta play. I'm playing. I don't think I need any items right now. Gene Bank. I don't want to do that either.
You want to tell the Oklahoma story real quick?
Ah, the Oklahoma story.
Began it.
Well, no, just basically that I'd spent a lot of time in Oklahoma City. I actually lived there when I was a kid for a little while. And then I really got to know the city quite well when Cooper went to school there. Fun fact, Oklahoma City will surprise you. Oklahoma City University is one of the preeminent musical theater schools in the country. Kristen Chenoweth and Kelly O'Hara are both graduates of that. And Oklahoma City was one of, you go to cities, and I've loved this as I travel across the country. You go to these cities and you think it's going to be one thing, and then it turns out to be something else altogether. Wonderful restaurants, wonderful people. I would totally go to Oklahoma any time. I would go, any fan conventions. I got a few more. I can't talk about all of them because I don't think they've announced. Last year I had 32, which is a lot. I think this year I am at about 18 or 19 currently, which is a pretty good range. I can tell you because this has been announced, I will be going to Dallas, I think in 2 weeks. Been to Dallas a lot. In fact, I go through Dallas all the time. DFW, please, man. So I'm going to be in Dallas, and then at the end of the month, I will be back in Tampa last year doing a amazing art exposition. So it's it's I love meeting the fans. Oh, hello. I'm getting better with this shotgun, baby. I love that. Can I take his picture?
Yeah, you can. No, he's dead.
Even though he's dead, so it doesn't matter? Oh, is it? Oh, I bet it's here.
Yeah, the camera's.
That's the camera? I took it. All right, now I got to kill somebody else.
You didn't take it.
I didn't take it? Well. Oh, there we go. I took that one. Hey, babe, how you like that? Oh, I took another. Oh, okay. I want to forget the... I think I might have got him that time. Yeah, the shotgun is very grenade box. Oh man, I could use some grenades. It is. I have to say, guys, it has been. Oh, don't, Graham. DFW with you. DFW. And, you know, it's just because I live in Albuquerque and you can't get anywhere in Albuquerque without going through DFW. So the chances of me being delayed or stuck in DFW are always quite high. Which brings me to a pet peeve, if I may, because I spend a lot of time in airports. Why don't the bars stay open all night in airports? Wouldn't it be better if you didn't have to go to sleep in like one of those hard airport chairs and could just go in and have a meal? I've never understood. And they're also, they would make more money. I many times, and it's always been at Dallas, they always cancel the flight. And at this point, I can find a hotel, if I can find a hotel nearby, or stay at the airport. And even if I get a hotel, the bars are closed, the restaurants are closed. I have to Uber Eats McDonald's, which is not bad. You know, again, I love McDonald's. McDonald's is great. Deborah, you saw me in Edmonton. Now that's all right. That's a story. I'll have to tell you guys the story about when I was almost thrown out of Canada.
Guarantee with a fascinating
I don't know if I'll tell that to you right now. I think I might play the game. But yes, Lauren can attest to this. And Molly is in the building. The magnificent Molly. Woo, 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 woo. She's a good girl. We have a new sub, ladies and gentlemen, a new sub. I'm anxiously, eagerly awaiting the deets even as we speak. As Willy Wonka said, the suspense is killing me. I hope it will last. Timeless Conundrum has gifted a sub, has gifted 5 subs. I thank you, Timeless Conundrum. Destiny is your friend. I know it. Yes, Emerald. She is a pretty girl, if I do say so myself. I don't know. I'm kind of, you know, these dogs. I'm kind of the proud papa. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when I have grandchildren. Oh, okay. I'm going to need something bigger for this boy. You know what? Maybe the plasmids, I think. Hello, Molly. Daddy's got to go kill a Big Daddy. Daddy's got to kill the Big Daddy. I hope I can kill him. Oh, I can?
And that'll make you do more damage.
Come on. There we go. Is that the camera?
One more. That's the grenade launcher. There you go.
I got it?
Yeah, back. Trigger.
There we go. Okay, I got you. Now, Mr. Big Daddy, let's see how big you are. Oh, I took another picture of him. Let us return to, let me some guys. Close. No, I don't think that's going to do it. I don't think that might do it. Can I load it? Okay. First aid. Boom. Boom. Come on, buddy. Come on. Die. Why won't the samurai just die? And so he did. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I am the killer of Big Daddies. I better use some, he just stands there while I figure out to kill him. Thank you. It was very nice of him. Burn in hell, Big Daddy. Uh-oh, who you? Oh, you're easy. I think I got him. I'm getting much better with the weapons. All right, let's see what we got here. I will see what, nothing there. Rosie. Why are they all called Rosies? Are they just all called Rosies? Is that like a Jetsons?
I think it's because they use a rivet gun. Rosie the Riveter.
Oh, I see. All right, little girl, I'm here to rescue you. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, little girl. I will take care of you. I will take care of you there. I'm low on health, but wealthy. You know, that's it. 6'7", as the youngsters say. I'm really not even sure what all that means, but like, oh, I'll take that. Yeah, baby. What else we got other than torrents of blood. Have I been through here? You know, I don't think so. Oh, let's keep going straight. Hello? Someone's knocking at my door. Somebody ringing a bell. Someone knocking at my door. Somebody ringing a bell. Do me a favor. Open the door and let them in. So what is the 6-7 thing? The joke. What is the 6? It's not. So it's an inside joke with no punchline, is what I'm being told. Is that correct? 6-7. Okay. You youngsters today with all your funny stuff. Let's go in here. No, I came here. I've already been here. This looks. I don't know if I've been there. We were just talking. I think I just might. Hello, Ben. Hello to 9-year-old Ben. It is good to speak with you. It's Marcos from LA. Oh, we have somebody that's actually. Hello, my friend. Someone that's actually been in the bar in LA, man. That's pretty cool, man. How well, it's weird talking like this, but yeah, man. This was not our first bar. Melissa and I had a bar back in Burbank. It was basically just a pool cabana. It was open, but there was a bar in there, no running water. And so that's how, once you get used to having a bar in your backyard, it's sort of hard to, you can't, there's really no going back from that. You're kind of spoiled for life. A parasite asks, where is my share? We could talk about Ayn Rand and the politics of BioShock, but I don't think I want to do that because I think I think I know where that would go, and nobody wants to. Honestly, I know things are hard right now. The world is insane, but other people talk about it, and I don't want to. Who wants to talk about that right now? Come into my bar privately with me. I'll talk politics. I'll talk your ear off, but not now. I miss you too, my friend. We had some good times back there in Burbank, man. Good times at the old bar on Maple Street. And this is a good bar. I mean, well, this bar is definitely better equipped than the old bar was. It has, All right, so Dylan, some kids said 6-7 after it was first introduced in a song, but the kid popularized it, and it became the current figurehead for brain rot. The previous one being Skibbity Toilet. I don't know what Skibbity Toilet is, but it is fun to say Skibbity Toilet. Can you say Skibbity Toilet? Skibbity Toilet. I knew you could. Thank you, Fred Rogers. Wherever you are, one of my heroes. All right, I've been here. What happened to my arrow? I don't know where to go anymore.
So because you can find a spider splicer anywhere, it doesn't have to.
Oh, so I'm just looking for splicers, period. I'm actively looking for splicers.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, that I can do. And just, looking for shit. What kind of shit can I get? Now this, last week that would have been a punchline. Yes, God save us, I know. God save us. No, it's Easter. It's a good time for that. All right. And is this? Oh, this is the bathroom. I've been there. Have I been up these stairs? This looks somewhat different. And I don't think I've been. I'll just keep going, man. What have we here? Can I go in here? Enter code. All right. I guess I'm going to have to hack it. Let's try it. Come on, go in there. Go there. Oh, no. Okay, well, the machine has short-circuited. I knew that was going to happen. Oh, well, I think I have a bit more of my corpse reviver.
You have a lot of money, so
I do have quite a bit of money.
when you hit hack, this is the bottom of the buyout.
Oh, so I can just buy it. Oh, You learn something, you know. You can teach an old dog new tricks, ladies and gentlemen. I successfully hacked it, and I'm going in. We're going in. I think I talked about Silence the Musical last week, but it's always a good time to talk about Silence the Musical's corpse. Well, you got anything for me? First aid kit. I think it's a little late for you there, buddy. What have we here? What is this? Is that a TV? It looks like a TV. Let's go and see what this guy is. Interesting. You can't get there. Well, you know, I'm thinking what I might like to do is just maybe whack it with a hammer. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'm in a singing mood tonight. Oh, yeah, I'll take the dollars. It's good to sing. I do come out here because it is the karaoke setup is not here because it's set up for this. But I have been known to come in here during the
You will come
day
to a
sometime,
better place.
just out and just sing. You know, singing is good for the soul. And I know some people go, "Oh, I can't sing." I think most people actually can sing. You just have to be comfortable with it, and that is the challenge. Oh, we have a new sub, Graham. I thank you, Graham. Graham, 1984. 1984, a banner year. I'm guessing it was probably the year possibly you were born. That was the year that Melissa and I, August 24th, 1984, we were married in Houston, Texas. That will be, oh my Lord, 42 years ago. 42 years ago this August. It's and obviously I will later as we get on with the year. I definitely will speak more about Melissa, and I think you might even meet Melissa at some point. We're talking about it, but you know it's if I might just wax poetic here for a moment. When you spend a new gifted sub, we have a new gifted sub coming in, ladies and gentlemen. A new gifted sub. Mystery Gamer 1998, gifted one sub, 1998, also a very good year. My kids were probably in elementary school at that point. Our kids were in elementary school. I was not yet IRO, but that was coming soon. You know, I think 1999 was. 1999 was the year once our kids were born, I didn't do any acting because our kids were Irish twins. They were 11 months apart. It was just one of those crazy things. Anyway, 1999 was the year the kids were finally old enough, and I got to go to, I did my first show. The kids were finally old enough for me to go back to the theater, and I was working for Disney, and Disney had an actual theater. I wouldn't say a theater. They had a little theater, the Disney Players, and I did Little Shop of Horrors for the very first time. And I would like to see it here in the we're on a hype train. Hype train, get on the hype train, hype train. Again, I'm singing tonight. It's spring. My heart is full of song, and soon it will be full of song for you because we have a song coming up here. It won't be quite as how to describe last week's musical interlude other than crappy. Oh man, once you start with the crap jokes, it's hard to quit. It is hard to get. All right, I think we'll go to 45 here. Oh, I hate you. I have to shoot you. Did I get it? I use first aid. Get that in first aid. Okay. Oh. Oh, damn, dude.
You will come to a better place.
Oh, what's going on with the camera? Oh. What happened to heat wave, the tropical heat wave? Anyway, I will talk to you guys at some point, probably closer to our anniversary, to talking about what it's like growing old with someone that you love. It has been the greatest blessing of my life, by far, that and my children. And a new sub from the Deranged Optician. For 6 months. Thank you, deranged optician. All right, you get. Oh, first of all, I got to use. All right, use first aid. First aid. Pause. No, 6 months. I think deserves some sort of musical song. So I thank you, deranged optician, for the 6 month in advance. I warned you guys. I'm in a musical mood tonight, and this is this is helping. Anyway, I will definitely, you'll meet Melissa. I'll do a Melissa show. I may have Dante on. I would love to do at some point, I probably near Mako's birthday, I want to do a show literally just dedicated to the life of Mako Uematsu and talking about him and what he's meant to me in my life and also in your lives. But going back to it, Cracker Moon did Little Shop of Horrors. I'll put this to the chat, my friends. I did Little Shop of Horrors. I've done it twice. I played the same part twice. The first time was in 1991, and the second time 1999, and the second time was in I think it was 2000. I think, yeah, right. 9/11 was 2000. I think, yeah. Not to bring everybody down. So anyway, what role do you guys think I played in Little Shop of Horrors? I would be very curious to see the chat. What you guys think might be. I wasn't the dentist, and I wasn't any of the girls. I wasn't any of the three girls. I definitely wasn't, Audrey. And I wasn't the voice of Audrey, too. So, there we go. Mr. Mushnick, how would you like to be my son? How would you like to be my own adopted boy? I did this show twice, and the first time I did it, again, this was 1999, and the kids, honestly, I think my son might have been 5 years old. And I took them up to the dress. I took them up to before they went to the show because I wanted them to see that, their daddy was not about to get eaten alive by a man-eating plant. So I did take Cooper and Sydney, and I showed them, okay, guys, this is the puppet, and this is what's going to work, and I'm going to literally go into the puppet's big mouth. It's going to be open, and then I'm going to scream like I'm dying, and he's going to close it, and I'm going to go through a secret door through the flat. And I think that sort of set Cooper, especially, that sort of set him off on. He would listen to nothing but the soundtrack, The Little Shop of Horrors. And this is a 5-year-old kid. Every night, that's what he insisted on listening to when he went to sleep. And later on, he graduated, and he would only listen to Sweeney Todd before going to sleep. So my children are awesome. I will have them on here at one point, too. We will have Cooper and Sydney both on, and we'll have Pat on as well, my son-in-law. I am very fortunate to have a lovely family. It's been sometimes. And I was thinking about this last night because I did enjoy going and helping young actors at the Albuquerque Little Theater and talking to them. I miss the company of actors. I love actors. My life has just been a miracle, man. I have been married for almost 42 years to a woman I fell in love with in 1979. My children have just succeeded beyond my wildest dreams, and plus they're good people, and they launched too, which is great. They both actually have careers, and they're actually doing well in the world. So, and then on top of all that, I have Uncle Iro, and I have all of you guys. So, I think that probably seems about as good a time as any to take a break and move into our musical interlude. Anyway, I do not say this lightly. Thank you, guys. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do something really cool, like although I don't play a lot of BioShock, mostly I talk. But thank you from my heart. We'll be back in a little while. You know, there are certain songs that walk into the room with a level of confidence that feels almost suspicious. Happy Days Are Here Again is one of those songs. It does not knock politely. It kicks the door wide open and it shouts, "Everything is going to be great." A bold statement. Historically speaking, a very bold statement because this song shows up in 1929. Yeah, timing, impeccable, right? So the stock market crashes. And what do people need other than, oh, I don't know, maybe a job? They need aggressive optimism. That's it. That's the ticket, citizens. Aggressive optimism. And God bless them for it. Because sometimes that is exactly what we need to hear. And I think maybe that's why this song has lasted. Not because it's right so much as because it's hopeful. You see, hope, real hope. Hope is a stubborn bastard. It sings when it probably shouldn't. Now, if you're like me, I don't always wake up feeling like a full chorus every morning. Some days I can barely manage a hum. But every once in a while, something shifts. You catch yourself thinking, well, maybe today won't be so bad. Not perfect, just better. And maybe that's what this song is actually trying to say. The storm hasn't passed, but somewhere, somehow, just a little bit of light is starting to break through. And I think that might be just enough to sing about. Hit it, baby. How does my hair look? My fake hair. So long, sad times. Get along, bad times. We are rid of you at last. Howdy, gay times, cloudy, gray times. You are now a thing of the past. Happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. All together, shout it now. There's no one who can doubt it now. So let's tell the world about it now. Happy days are here again. Your cares and all your troubles, they're gone. There'll be no more from now on. From now on, happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy times, happy nights, happy days are here again. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. My corpse feels revived, but maybe not revived quite enough. Maybe we could, you know what? I don't use, this could go wrong. Gin is not a drink that I generally drink. I am mostly whiskey, vodka, tequila. So gin is not my usual drink of choice, but here's to you, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this song. I enjoyed singing it for you very much. One of the when I first started the show, I knew I've got a karaoke stage. I should do karaoke songs, right? Oh, thank you very much. The problem is, of course, we've got to put a timer on, guys, so we know how long I'm going, because otherwise I can just keep talking and talking and talking. Anyway, when we knew we wanted the show, oh, rum is great, Graham. Rum is great. Rum, though, steer clear of the 151 rum. I'm just saying, the 151. Do I have any head canons about the characters I play? Well, yes, I do, Timeless Conundrum. I do. One of the things that is always the biggest mystery to me in Avatar: The Last Airbender has been that Uncle Iroh, who is a loving man, he loves his nephew, he loves his son, and I think he loves his niece too, to be honest with you, even though she's crazy and needs to go down. Anime Game Lover 63, I say hello to you as well, my friend. But the thing is, it's odd to me that Iroh is this love. He's just a ball of love, you know, and kindness. And not once is his wife, the mother of Lu Ten, even mentioned. Not even a mention. And I don't think Mike and Brian left that out on purpose, because their world is so well thought out. But in terms of my headcanon about specifically Iroh's wife, in my headcanon, she died in childbirth, giving birth to Lu Ten, and that, coupled with later the death of Lu Ten, spoiler alert, folks, although if you're watching my channel, you should probably know, Lu Ten, I'm sorry, guys, he doesn't make it. And I think she probably died in childbirth, and it is something that is just so devastating to Iroh that he simply cannot even mention it. He can't talk about it. Because that, coupled with it may not, I mean, who knows? It could be an arranged marriage. I would very much love someday to. I almost asked Mike and Brian about it. I was at a 20th anniversary party in San Diego at the Comic-Con last year, and those things are always. I mean, they're fun, but also they're not, because most of my life I was a paralegal for the Walt Disney Company. Being at these fancy places is always a little weird for me. And what I did love at that is because D. Bradley Baker, what a wonderful actor, wonderful man. He clearly didn't like these things as much as I do. We're on the same page, so we got to actually talk to each other. But I would have loved to have approached Mike and Brian, but Mike and Brian kind of freaked me out because they're creators of the show and they're sort of like amazing. One of these days, I'm gonna summon up the courage to actually say to Mike and Brian, so what's up with Uncle Iroh's wife? It's kind of weird that, you don't even, mention her. And I think they probably would give me a very, very succinct and creative reason, because these guys thought of everything. And circling back to what was asked earlier, I cannot wait to see the animated content. I literally... the Netflix show is also wonderful, and I've gotten very close to Paul Lee and some of the cast. But seeing it animated again is going to be I'll cry. Tears come easily to me. I don't deny that. The first time I saw a picture of Paul Lee in his Iroh getup, on social media, I wept. Yeah, we do love Paul, Lauren. And I got to tell you guys, if you are ever, Paul Lee, if you're out there, love you, baby, love you 3.0. You are the best. If you ever hang out with Paul Lee in Toronto, and by the way, it's Toronto. Americans, it is not Toronto. It is Toronto. I've learned this. But anyway, if you're in Toronto and you're hanging around with Paul Lee on the streets, he is a superstar in Canada. Literally everywhere we went, it was like, oh my God, are you Paul Lee? Are you Paul Lee? Oh, I love your stuff. So, and on top of all that, he is just a a sweetheart of a man. They could not have found a better actor to not only convey Iroh's gravitas, but also Paul has that little twinkle in his eye, you know, where you can say, oh, this guy actually has a sense of humor and he's funny. So, yeah, Paul Lee, if you're out there, baby, 3.0. I got you, baby. I got you. He is a wonderful man. I'm going to have a little more of this gin. Was there any story I didn't finish? It's distinct. Thank you. I got Matt here today. He's keeping me on task, and he also keeps me looking at that one up there. It's weird because the one up there is very high, so it doesn't really, we have 3 cameras in here, and that one's up quite high, so I have to remember to literally look up at that. Link the Hero. I would love to see us heroes where we see Uncle. But you know, Uncle Iroh, all right, this is the show that I would like to see. I would call it Brothers. Hello, Firefeathers 13. It is good to speak with you. I would like to see a show called Brothers, examining the relationship between Ozai and Iroh. I think that would be fascinating. I also think we've never, you know, the Iroh that we know and we love is the Iroh, you know, the tea lover, the peace lover, the guy that is a mentor to not just Zuko, but basically the entire world, including me. That's the Iroh that we know. We've never met the Dragon of the West. We've never met the man that laid siege to Ba Sing Se. And I wonder sometimes if that might just be a little bit too disconcerting for us to see that guy. I think I may have actually mentioned it on this show before myself, because I'm a big fan of a sub genre of science fiction called alternate history. If you guys are familiar with that, I loved it since I was a kid. The Harry Turtle Dove, you know, the alternate history, and also how it takes just the tiniest little thing to go differently for history to be changed. There was a wonderful, literally, Turtle Dove wrote an entire series called, I forget, it was basically about the South won the Civil War simply because, and it's true, there was a courier at Gettysburg, and they had the battle plans, man, and they dropped it off of his horse, and the Union found it, so they knew what the Confederacy was going to do. And the whole thing, the entire, and this is like a 6-book series, it goes all the way up to World War II and how that happens. And it all happened just because this thing drops off of his saddlebags, and the guy goes, "Hey, did you see you dropped that?" And this Confederate soldier goes, "Oh my God, things could have been horrible." And it's all about that. They didn't drop it after all. Which leads me back to my idea of alternate history and how the tiniest little thing can sometimes affect, it makes a chain reaction. So let's talk about Lu Ten. Lu Ten, Iroh's son. Iroh loves his son. And the greatest tragedy of Iroh's life is losing his son. That is what the impetus for him to actually change, to become the Iroh that we know and not the Dragon of the West. And I think about it because Lu Ten's death, the most tragic thing that ever happened to Iroh, but also might have been one of the, in the long term for humanity, the best thing that ever could have happened to Iroh. Because if Iroh had not been damaged by the loss of his beloved son, he probably would have continued the war. He would have continued the siege. He probably would have ended up becoming the Fire Lord. And for all we know, he might have been every bit as bad or not worse than Ozai. And yeah, you're right. And saying losing a son is like a parent's nightmare. And that's why I cannot imagine, and I can understand, but that changed things. That moment is what changed Iroh. I also think, and I'm waxing philosophic today, you know, it's the week before Easter, and although people would like to think of me as a firebender of the Fire Nation, I've talked to Dante about this. Greg, I am not of the Fire Nation. Iroh is. I identify as one of the air nomads because I've been very interested in spirituality and things like that. And I think that's why I do think it could have literally just changed everything. Losing his son changed him so profoundly. And had he not lost his son, he would not have had to face that tragedy, which would have been good for Iroh, but possibly bad for the world. Again, these are the things that I like to think about when I've, had a little bit of, you know what I'm talking about. Speaking of which, our 420 show. If you guys love the colonoscopy show, you are going to love the 420 show. We'll see how that all works out for me. We shall see. Anyway, okay, I'm going on. I'm rambling. I'm already 10 minutes into it, and I haven't even played the game at all. But I love actually seeing the chat and just talking to you. What, Sleepy Dragon, what do I think Iroh's reaction would be if we saw him lose his wife? Probably similar to what his reaction was when they came to him and they said, Lu-Ten is dead. Iroh loses everything. He has no wife. But he doesn't lose everything. That's what's wrong. He maybe thinks he lost everything, but he has something very valuable and something very precious. He has a nephew named Zuko, whom he loves. And I truly think Iroh sees himself in Zuko. And I think I was at a fan convention sometime, and I wish that I could credit this fan because I thought it was such a beautiful thought. Because we always think that the death of Lu-Ten, hello, Nicholas, the death of Lu-Ten is what changes Iroh and sets him on a different course. And I've always thought, well, yes, losing a child is, I cannot imagine the depth of grief for something like that. And thank God, and I hope I never do. But I've also always thought for him to change so profoundly from the Crown Prince, the gin is doing its work, the Crown Prince, I might have a little more, from the Crown Prince of the Fire Nation, and to giving it all away to his brother and saying, no, I'm walking away from all that. And I think, I don't know if that's enough for him to change so profoundly. And this fan, and I will never forget this conversation, this fan says to me, he says, no, Greg, you don't understand. You don't understand. Everybody talks about Zuko's redemption arc. What about Iroh's redemption arc? And this fan says to me, Zuko is Iroh's redemption arc. And I thought about it, and I thought, oh my God, that's absolutely correct. Zuko is Iroh's redemption arc. By molding Zuko into a better version of himself, Iroh, in many ways, no less than Aang himself, helps to change the world because they create a kinder and a gentler Fire Lord in Zuko. It's weird to me also that Aang turns out to be such a shitty father, but that's another conversation that we can have. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we don't know about Aang's father, but it's weird to me. But I do think that is. I think why Zuko's redemption arc affects us all so profoundly. It is, Aang is the titular title character of the show, but Zuko is the heart of the show. And I honestly think, obviously the scripts were so good, the music, the acting, the art, but at the heart of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I think that's what speaks to us all today, 20 years later, is Zuko. And the fact that the Zuko we meet on the boat in that very first episode is not the Zuko that we meet at the end. Aang learns to be the Avatar. He learns to harness his power. He grows up a little bit. But Aang in the last episode isn't all that different from the boy in the iceberg. Now, Zuko is absolutely Crackle Moon. Zuko is the heart of the show. And were it not for the Zuko redemption arc, I don't know if I'd be sitting here because I don't know. I think that's one of the things that makes the show so memorable because it affects everybody. We all know somebody like that, or we've been somebody like that, somebody that made a conscious effort to change. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. So maybe I should just have, the gin is starting to do its work. Wait till the 420 show. That may go on all night. Anyway, all right, I'm going to go back. Let's play a little bit. Let's see if I can actually, use first aid would probably be the first thing I want to do. Let's go back to the ranch. Where's my ranch? Where's my ranch? Where's my ranch? Ooh, I haven't really used the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher might be fun. Who is killing me? Oh, you're just a splicer. I can take you. I think I got. Oh yeah. Oh, did it? Oh no, it didn't. I thought I killed him. I did kill him. I killed him. Oh, he's dead. He's good and dead. I will take your frag grenade and I will take your first aid kit. Thank you very much, Splicer. That was very nice. And have a nice day. All right. Use first aid again. You know, you guys, what is up with you guys? All right. You know what? I feel like we're gonna go barbarian, baby. Where are you? Where are you, bastard? You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? Come and get me, baby. You won't be sorry. I will take you down. I will destroy you. I don't know why I'm talking like this all of a sudden, but I kind of like it. For some reason, it sort of works. Sort of like a modified Fontaine. And again, I'm really not sure that I am Fontaine. Oh, running away. Oh, running away like a little girl. All right. How you like that? How you like that? How you like? Oh, you like that? You like that? Ha, ha, ha. You like that? How's that? Feel good? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm partying. I snorted. Sorry, guys. That was pure Aku. You will feel the wrath of the great Aku. Long ago, in a distant land, I, Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness, unleashed an unspeakable evil. But a foolish samurai, wielding a magic sword, stepped forth to oppose me. Before the final blow was struck, I tore open a portal in time and flung him into the future, where my evil is law. Now the fool seeks to return to the past and undo the future. That is Aku! All right. Okay. I think I might have enjoyed that a little bit too much. Sorry. If you're young, please have your youngsters leave the room now. I'm getting a little bloody now. Oh, a lockbox. I'll take it. So I'm just looking for people to kill. Low on health. All right. Got my health back. What's that? Grenade box? I've already checked. I think I've been here. I have been here. Get out of here. Get on out of here. Let's go down this way. Ale, well, you know. Oh, no, this is the bathroom. Already been to the bathroom. I know. Aku sometimes takes possession. Oh, anything to drink? No. I think I drank everything in here. What's that? Nothing to worry about. Yeah, The detail in this game, after literal, 20 years old, the detail is still amazing. And I will say, because probably the next game we're going to play will be, sure, why not? I think probably I'm leaning towards Fallout 4. But I will say I have played a little Smuggling Ring. I have played some Fallout 4, and I do find, and I think it's maybe because BioShock is such a much older game, the joystick controls are much easier for me to navigate in this game than they are in Fallout 4, because there's so many things that you can do. I would very much like to find to myself a Proctor Tegan in Fallout 4. My kids have told me that every time they play the game and they get, there we go, and they get to Proctor Tegan, they kill him. I don't know what that says about them as kids or me as a dad, but I do know that when I play Fallout 4 and I do ultimately find Proctor Tegan, I do intend to kill myself. Thank you very much, please. Right? I mean, how many times can you do that and not actually do it? I think that is going to be very, very satisfying. What do you think of that? Books. Oh, hello. Hey, that didn't take much, buddy. You know what? Let's take a picture of him, right? All right, there we go. Say cheese. All right, I'm not sure how many I've got now, but I've got research progress. So, am I done?
No. So there's many different types of splicers. You've been taking pictures of the nitro splicers, which are the ones that.
Oh, and I want the lead head spikers. Spikers,
You want the
spicers,
spikers.
spicers, the spider, the genius done its work. I want the spliders, splicers.
Yes,
The slider slicers. All right, guys, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get the sliders. Oh, I don't like you though, man. I hate that. You are a giant. Oh, I don't want a picture of you.
Well, it'll make you do more damage.
The security you are a pain in the ass, dude. I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I did get it. It seems to be on the floor. No, it's up there still. It's still bedeviling me. All right, I'm gonna need a weapon. Come on. When Liberty Valance came to town, the women folk would hide. I'm out of ammo. Oh, well, all right. Let's just, in which case, run. Oh, that was very, very, a lead head. No, I don't need a lead head slicer, right? Or a splicerty slicer. A slicerty slice. Oh, I don't. This looks kind of fancy. That's why I'm probably just going back to where I was before. Or maybe not. This does not. Health station. Heal? Oh, I'll heal. Why not? I got plenty of money. I got plenty of money. Yes. Okay, now we are in new territory, I do believe. Okay, I want to get in here. But how? Is there a door, a lock? I mean, all right, guys, what do you think? All right, should I get, I'm looking at that tattoo, and I do have tattoos currently, I'm literally marking myself with the stuff I've done. I've got Avatar represented, I have Samurai Jack represented, I have Fallout 4 represented, and I have Clone Wars represented. I do not have BioShock represented, and I'm thinking I might kind of like maybe below or above my watch, so you guys can see it. Maybe here, the chains, I was thinking, but I was also thinking I might also get the watchtower, but it looks a little bit like the Jedi, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I do know on this arm, I found out how to say it in Latin, in Roman lettering, in Roman letters, the Latin translation for theater kid triumphant. That I think is probably my best one, but I am thinking I might like the chains. I don't know. We'll see. The thing about tattoos is once you start, it's very difficult to stop. It becomes kind of a thing. Oh, why, thank you. You're my favorite place, a person, here, come here at my conventions. Humorously ironic. One shot, baby. The mouse is way easier. You get choked up when talking about the Roman Empire. It happens, All right, don't. Roman, there was again, I'm going to show my age. If you ever get the chance to watch it, the production values are terrible because it was on PBS back in the late 70s. But there was a series called, there's a big daddy, called I, Claudius. And I think it's streaming. If you ever get the chance to watch this, give it a watch. It is really, it's John Hurt as Caligula, Derek Jacobi as Claudius, the wonderful Brian Blessed as Augustus. And I'm glad that I gave you all hugs. Oh, it was a sweet bread thing in Arkansas. Oh, back up to there. Thank you, Matt. Matt keeps me on task. All right, can I get through here if I just break it?
No. Closed. For now.
Would a grenade launcher do the trick? All right, well,
Welcome to try.
what do we have here? What do we have here, ladies and germs? This is where I've been. Do I need anything? Oh, I got some money. What do you think? Electric buck? Do I need machine gun rounds? Frag grenades? I could buy any of this. All right, I'll take pistol rounds first. And I think I will also have some. I will take frag grenades or machine gun rounds. What do you guys think? I think I like to use the machine gun. I think I'm going to probably go. All right. Opulent dog. All right. Guy goes to a bar in Rome and he asks for 2 beers while holding up 2 fingers. The bartender gives him 5 beers. Thank you, folks. I'm here all week. Thank you for that, Thank you for that lovely ancient Roman joke. I've never been to Rome. I've been all over the United States, but I am sadly, I have not done a lot of traveling overseas except to our good friends in Canada. And question gets even, I'm going to repeat it. How would Aku react to meeting another like himself, another creature born of the Black Mass? That's the interesting question. Would they turn on each other, or would they join forces and become the ultimate evil in the world? And I think, knowing Aku, that's the thing. Aku is very much a narcissistic personality, I think. So I don't know if Aku would accept that there could be another like himself, because there is no one like a great Aku. But I also think Aku is quite pragmatic, and he might think, hey, perhaps together we can finally kill this fucking samurai. He will finally die. That was always fun. It was fun to say die that way. Aku is fun. Honestly, I think my performance as Iroh is better. And that was the genius of Mako. Aku was a hard character to play because he's all over the place. He is a villain. He is a monster. He absolutely will kill you dead without a second thought. But Aku is also funny as hell. So it was hard for me. Mako could easily navigate how one moment he's terrifying and the next moment he's funny, and it was literally lightning fast transition. Mako was able to do that. I think I always struggled a little bit more with that when I was voicing Aku, whereas Iroh, I always say Iroh is acting for the camera. He's very low. They're very much on one level, very natural. But Aku is playing to the balcony in Broadway, which is also very true. I must say, my April Fool's joke, I really think Hate Night with Aku would be a great, great show. If you are listening, Cartoon Network, I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember a show called Space Ghost Coast to Coasts. This would be very much in that genre. It would be Aku basically hosting a late night talk show. And the thing is, though, every time anybody comes on his show, it always ends up him killing, the guest, which I think would be funny. What was it like voicing Splinter? Now that was an interesting situation. People come up to me sometimes, and you're very kind, where you will say, oh, I never even knew that the voice changed, I do. And, I will say that in the show, okay, if I'm doing the entire episode, and Mako was, particularly season 3, it's close enough, It's just close enough. But the interesting thing about TMNT is it's probably about 80% me and maybe 20% Mako. So there's a whole lot of one line it'll be me, and the next line it'll be Mako, and the next line it'll be me again. And baby, you can tell. You absolutely can tell listening to that. And to this day, sometimes people will bring me Splinter items, to sign at my table. And I always feel a little bit squishy about that because it was Mako's last credited role. So I will sign your Splinter Funko Pop, but I will not sign it as Splinter. I was never credited as Splinter, so I always sign it Splinter-ish, Splinter-ish. Splinter-ish. I did think it was a really great show. I thought it was a wonderful movie. Brack and Zorak, yeah, man. You know, Lauren. I thought that was it cracked me up. I discovered the show when my kids were very, very young. It was on at that time. And I tell you guys, I was so lucky that my kids, Cooper and Sydney, were exactly the right age in the 90s for all of this wonderful, wonderful animation. When I say I was a fan of Samurai Jack, I was a fan of Samurai Jack. It was different. Samurai Jack came out much earlier than Avatar: The Last Airbender. So this was in the late 90s. So Cooper and I would watch Samurai Jack together. There was something that, you know, and I hear also people say, oh, my dad loved this show. I'd watch it with my dad. And I think that is because it appealed to both youngsters and, you know, fathers, kids and fathers. So I would watch it with them. I can honestly say I was a fan of the show when I had no inkling. In my wildest dreams, I could not have imagined someday I was going to be lucky enough to actually be one of Aku's voices. Avatar was a little bit different. That came out when my kids were in high school. So at that point, I think the kids, you know, at that point, it was like, oh, whatever, Dad, you know, like teenagers. Now, you know, they are pretty, you know, and we're talking about Leaves from the Vine now. And I will say, you know what, that is still to this day, it's my biggest request. People will say, will you sing Leaves from the Vine? And the answer to that is, I will not sing Leaves from the Vine. I will not sing it ever. I have sung it in, you know, the shower before. And frankly, that's another reason you don't want to hear me sing it. It is such a seminal moment in the show. I think probably if you had to choose one iconic moment from Avatar: The Last Airbender, it would be Leaves from the Vine. I think that's the one that people remember. So I don't want to touch that, you know. And not only that, the episode was dedicated to Mako. It was his song, and I am not going to sing that song. I will never sing that song. I will sing, it's a long, long way to Ba Sing Se, but the girls in the city, they look so pretty. And I also will sing Secret Tunnel, but I will not sing Leaves from the Vine. It is a beautiful song. All right, I'm going to give you guys a scoop here. The internet, believe it or not, is wrong about a lot of things. The internet says, people said, oh, this was the last thing that Mako ever recorded. And I just know from my personal appearance with the show, we recorded the show in order. So in all probability, Mako's last recording session would have been the last show in season 2. I do know, I just can conjecture. I don't know this for a fact, but knowing the timeline of everything, I'm certain that when Mako sang the song, he was aware of his prognosis and went along and sang it anyway. I do very much, you know, people, I wish that I had met him. People will talk to me about him sometimes. Dante knew him well, so I love to sort of bend Dante's ear and say, so tell me, what was he like? What was he like? You know, and of course, what I really want to know is, and I won't know this for real, this you know, in this side of eternity, what I would like to know is, what does Mako think of me? And I've thought about talking about it last night. They had asked me about it at this workshop. And, you know, the thing about Mako was so much more than an actor. He literally was an advocate for casting for Asian actors. Many years before that was something even thought about. That was something that he did. He started the first equity acting company in the United States, the East West Players in Los Angeles. That was his theater company. That's what he did. And I know that he felt strongly about that. So when I think about Mako and me, and I will choose my words carefully, I think that Mako was, first of all, Mako was an actor. And the thing about an actor is, a real actor is, an actor will always tell you, take the work. take the work. Always take the work. Mako would say to me, Greg, you took the work. You did a good job. You did what Nickelodeon asked you to do, which was to sound like me, to try to duplicate, as if I could, to duplicate Mako's performance. I think if Mako had any issues at all, I think he might be a little pissed off at the executives at Nickelodeon. This is probably going to be the thing that goes viral. But Nickelodeon will never hire me again. But that's all right because I'm getting older. The chances are good Nickelodeon will never hire me again. Period. So that's okay. But yeah, I think he might have a little bit of a problem with the people in charge of making that decision, and that probably is about as close as I have ever. I've danced around this topic for many years, and it's probably as close as I've ever danced to it before. But I do think he would, and I hope he knows it because it's true. It's not bullshit. My love of Mako, my being a super fan of Mako is not bullshit. It is true. I have loved his work since I first heard his voice on a record album in 1977. Nippon, the floating kingdom, an island empire which for centuries has lived in perfect peace, undisturbed by intruders from across the sea. And here's the thing, this actually exists on YouTube, and I'm serious, guys. If you love Mako, Pacific Overtures, the Sondheim musical for which he was nominated for a Tony Award, and my favorite musical of all time. Nothing even comes close to it. There is a very well filmed production of it available on YouTube, the original cast with Mako. So if you got some time, it's about a 2.5 hour musical. Give it a try. You're going to see Mako in his prime. You're going to see him. He was probably, I'm guessing when Mako did Pacific Overtures, he was probably about the same age I would be when I ended up cast as Iroh. So he was probably in his late 40s, probably maybe early 50s. Mako literally at his prime. So literally, if you're a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I cannot beg you enough, watch Pacific Overtures. It is one of the most amazing musicals ever written. And I may very well, I had a new sub from Gavatron 420. I like the 420. Again, we'll talk about that. I don't think my vape is with me, so I can't do it right now. I don't keep the vape in my tux. I would if I could, though. I'd have to go get it. The 420 show is going to be great. But going back to Mako, because a lot of it does come back to Mako. Watch Pacific Overtures. Give it a listen. It's going to remind you of why we all love Mako so much. And wherever he is, I think he didn't live to see the thing that Uncle Iroh would become. He didn't live to see what his work started. But somehow, you know what? I think he knows. And I think that might be just about as good a time as any. We're 37 minutes. I think we're good. I think we can move on here now. We will be back momentarily, my nieces and nephews. My nieces and nephews, once again, it is time for us to go looking for the light. Now, sometimes that sounds like a big idea, like we're supposed to find something super obvious. But it seems to me that one of the best places to find light is in comeback stories. That's a big word, comeback. Sounds like a press release, but most comebacks don't feel like comebacks when you're living in them, and I should know. A former agent told me back in 2003 that I would never make it as a voice actor because I was too old. I was 43. Also, former agent, but I digress. Most comebacks feel slow and uncertain. They're never clean. Take Walter Elias Disney. Fired from a newspaper for lack of creativity. His first studio goes bankrupt, and then he loses the rights to his own animated character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Now, at this point, most people, myself included, would just say, fuck that, I am selling insurance. Instead, he creates Mickey Mouse and then Disneyland. That, my friends, that is light, but with churros. And then there is Judy Garland. Now, if you want to understand this whole comeback concept, you need to start with her. Her career was all but over. Personal struggles with addiction. The world was totally finished with her. Then she walks out on stage at Carnegie Hall in 1961. She doesn't try to be who she once was. She doesn't try to be Dorothy Gale. She doesn't pretend that everything is fine. It's not. She just shows up. And man, it's electric. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. That, my friends, is also light. A moment when something true finally breaks through all the bullshit. And you're going to love this one. Once upon a time, there was a proud young prince who lost his way, banished, angry. He thought that honor was something he had to chase halfway around the world. And then one day, he realized that he'd been chasing the wrong thing all along. So he turns around. Not because anybody is waiting for him with open arms, although someone is and was never angry with him. No, he does it because it's the right thing to do. And you know, guys, that might actually be the hardest comeback of all. It's a moment when you choose to be better, even if it costs you everything you thought you wanted. My nieces and nephews, you don't have to come back perfect. You just have to come back. You know, Holy Week seems about as good a time as any to talk about the convergence of faith and harmony. Why? Well, because it's my show and I can do whatever the hell I want. Anyway, this story begins with my grandfather's fiddle. Now, Peepop Sparkman played it in honky tonks across Texas during the Great Depression. Somehow it found its way to me. People talk about inherited faith as if it's a single melody passed down intact, but that was not my experience. What I inherited was harmony. Let me explain. Now, Peepop Sparkman was my maternal grandfather, and that side of my family tree is heavily populated with drinkers and gamblers and musicians and hellraisers, even an actor. And I remember this one time, I think I was about 8 years old, and I got dropped off at Sunday school. Now, believe it or not, I've always been a little shy, and I still am. And I was definitely not stoked about hanging out for an hour in Graham, Texas, with kids I did not know. And there were maybe 10 of us in the classroom. Now, the Sunday school teacher goes around the room and asks every single kid to testify about the moment they were saved. I wasn't even sure what that meant. So he finally got to me, and he asked me to talk about my own conversion experience. And I had no idea how to respond to that. So I said nothing. I just sat there silent for what seemed an eternity. And finally, mercifully, he moved on to the next kid. And for years after that, when I thought about Christianity, I thought about that shy little boy in a room full of strangers. I learned something about faith that day. Faith, at least in that room, was performative, and I did not know my lines. So I didn't reject faith so much as I stepped sideways from it. Now, years later, I dabbled in the pagan rituals of my distant ancestors. In other words, I learned to read runes, ancient symbols carved into pieces of wood. And it's a language of reflection rather than prediction, because they didn't tell me what would happen to me. They asked me to listen for what was already stirring beneath the noise of my life. I can still read runes. I could read your runes. It's a good backup plan if this whole IRO 2.0 thing does not work out. Anyway, flash forward to 1999. And believe it or not, I find my way back to church. Not the uncomfortable classroom of my childhood, no, but a quiet and a more spacious faith. Melissa and I ended up running the drama ministry at Westminster Presbyterian Church in Burbank, California for 20 years. And it was there that we received a very special gift, something rare and something holy. Creative control. Permission to tell the truth as we understood it. Now, in our nativity pageant, you would not just find the usual gang of shepherds and magi hovering around the Christ child. No, you would also find Julia Child and Walter White. Little drummer boy, he was out of town. He was working a bar mitzvah in Jerusalem. So, Shecky, the little comedian, he regales the baby Jesus with a tight 10, and he cracked that little tied up, I promise you. All singing, all dancing, I am not kidding. So when I committed myself to that community, I let the runes go. Not out of seemed to be one that required my full attention. I thought the two worlds were separate. I am no longer convinced of that. Both remind us that we humans, we search for symbols and rituals. We suspect that this, whatever the fuck this is, all of this, isn't random. Surely truth must echo in more than one forest. Scripture gave me structure. Community taught me service. And ancient symbols reminded me that mystery isn't something to solve, but something to respect. Multiple notes forming a larger harmony. A harmony that would surface in my life in an unexpected place many years later in my acting career. Now, friends, I have had the great privilege of voicing two characters who could not possibly be more different. One is a demon who rages at the universe, desperate to dominate it. And the other is a retired general who pours tea and believes in redemption. For the longest time, I thought that both roles were just acting challenges. Only now do I recognize them as mirrors. There's an Aku voice inside all of us, loud with fear and insisting on control. But there's an Iroh voice too, quiet, steady, reminding us to soften our hearts. The trick is learning which voice to follow. A shy boy in Sunday school learns what it feels like to be small. An old man behind the microphone learns what it feels like to be heard. Wisdom, I have come to believe, is learning when to stand still and when to play, which brings us back to my grandfather's fiddle. You know, sometimes I open the case and I rest my hands on the wood. It carries dents from rooms that no longer exist. It survived hard times by staying in tune. You see, folks, harmony is a willingness to let opposing notes belong to the same song. And I'm going to repeat that because that, friends, is very important. Harmony is a willingness to let opposing notes belong to the same song. My grandfather's fiddle didn't crack under pressure. Nah. It sang. And that's the goal, my nieces and nephews. Not certainty, not noise, song. And maybe that's what this season asks of us. The courage to find our way back into tune. So just for a moment, I'm going to ask you all to sit with me in that and think about spring, think about the resurrection, think about rebirth, think about bunnies, think about second chances, whatever that means to you. And we will take 30 seconds of silence. Here we go. Thank you for that. There's something about shared silence. It reminds us that we're not as far apart as we sometimes feel. Spring as a way of doing that too, quietly insisting that something new can grow where nothing seemed possible. So if something stirred in your soul just now, man, hold on to it. Don't have to put a name on it. You don't have to explain it. Just don't ignore it. Okay? Let's sing our way out. Hit it, baby. We played a game. We had some laughs. But all things have to end. And so, until we meet again, destiny is your friend. Well, folks, that is our show. If you enjoyed tonight's gathering, follow the channel. It really does help. So please, please, please like, subscribe, share clips, tell a friend, bring someone along next time. The more, the merrier. We're building something special here. I truly believe that. Slowly but surely, we are building something unusual amidst all the noise of life in 2026. So, next Tuesday, April 7th, it is both a National Beer Day and Francis Ford Coppola's birthday. Now, I have not decided which theme to go with. Possibly both. Probably both. Either way, you are going to want to be right here. It might just be a beer you can't refuse. Until then, be well, be happy, be kind. Good night.